Hey guys, so sorry that we're not having open office hours today. I have a meeting at the same time that we would have our hours. It's something silly, but have to do it. Anyway, so you guys should still be reading Taming the Shrew, or at least maybe you finished it. I don't know. You need to have it finished though before Wednesday. You have an essay due on Wednesday on Taming the Shrew. So we're going to go over Act 3, Scene 1, 2, and 3. Just going to keep it nice and short. Okay. Also, before I start, keep in mind that your topic for your research paper is due on Monday. Okay, you just have to type a simple sentence. My topic is blah blah blah. Okay, that's it. Simple as that. Okay, don't try to overthink it. If you don't know which one, tell me that you're stuck between 3. I don't. Okay, super easy. So now we'll get into it. So in Act 3, Scene 1. Okay. At Baptista's house, Lucentio, the real Lucentio, is tutoring Bianca in Latin, and he decides to convey his true feelings, his true intentions by using a Latin phrase, and it basically is, I'm trying to woo you, I love you, I want to marry you. Okay, and she responds back with something kind of vague, but along those same lines that she's very interested in him. Meanwhile, Hortensio keeps trying to interrupt and say, it's time for your music lesson. And she keeps telling him basically to go, play in the road or something. So once her lesson is over with Lucentio and she has her music lesson then with Hortensio, he does somewhat of the same thing. He tells her through musical notes that he has feelings for her. But instead she says, yeah, I don't want to date you or marry you. I don't like you. So then he kind of says, please do it for me, like out of pity. If not out of pity, then I'll just die. So he's really trying, but it's just not getting him anywhere. She's like, yeah, well, sorry, I'm not into you. So with that, everybody's, kind of happy, but it's secret now that Lucentio and Bianca love each other. You have to keep in mind that love in Shakespeare plays happens very quickly. Otherwise, it would be a very long and drawn out book, basically. So then we have Act 3, Scene 2, okay? It is now the day of Kate and Petruchio's wedding. So now if we remember, Petruchio went to Baptista's house and was like, I'm going to woo her, I'm going to marry her. And he left by tricking everybody and saying that they were going to get married. Kate had not consented to it, but it didn't really matter because back then it was a man's world. It wasn't a woman's world. They can hear you. So he had left the house saying to Baptista that they were going to wed that Sunday. Okay, so now it's that Sunday. They're going to get married. And what does Petruchio do? Because he realizes he has to tame Kate. He decides to show up late, super late. So late that people start to talk about her and say that, nobody, he came to his senses and realized that nobody would want to marry somebody like a shrew, like Kate. She attempts to go after that person, but she doesn't because she's held back. So Petruchio finally shows up, okay? His servant Biondello rushes into the town, into the church to say like, oh my gosh, he's here. He's coming, he's dressed though ridiculous. He doesn't look anything as to what a groom should look like. So Kate has on a very nice, I hate working from home with him. A very nice, wedding or bridal dress, I should say, because their idea of wedding dress and our idea is not the same. So when Petruchio comes into town and they finally get a glimpse of him, he is dressed in the most ridiculous attire. So it's all different bright colors. Kate is wearing like a greenish dress, and he has like a big puffy peasant shirt that's completely rainbow. His pants, one pant leg is puffed out and the other one is skinny, like a skin tight jean. So he just completely looks out of sorts. And everybody starts making fun of him. And they're just like, oh my gosh, everybody. Baptista's embarrassed and begs him to change into something more suitable for a wedding. But, and it's more because he's concerned about himself. He doesn't really care so much about his daughter, Kate. He cares about his reputation in the town and Bianca's reputation. So this is not for Kate's benefit that he wants him to change. It's for him. So Petruchio says that he's not going to change, and they go into the wedding, or go into the church rather, and everybody just kind of follows in like this horrified fashion that it's like a train wreck. You can't take you can't look away. You want to, but you can't. Okay, so the wedding is completed. Okay, now we're moving into Act 3, Scene 3. Okay, it's over, it's done with. And Petruchio, they get into their, wedding reception, and maybe not even 10 minutes in, Petruchio is like, well, we need to leave. Like, this was great, we're married, we gotta go. And Kate says, I bid you we stay. And he's like, no, we have to leave, sorry. We have to go, things to do, people to see. And Baptista is very upset with this because he wants, he doesn't now get time to say goodbye to his daughter. So again, this is not for him personally. It's the appearance of how he looks. He doesn't really care so much about Kate. She tries to say that, Kate tries to say that she is not going to leave. She wants to spend the time with friends and family in the, like time of saying congratulations, and just before she does have to leave. So Petruchio remains persistent, and he says that now that she's his wife, she's his property, and if she's going to defy him, then she might as well hang herself because she is a thief. And same with the rest of the wedding party, because since it's property, she would be staying there, so it would be seen as like she was stolen or kept from the owner. So that's why he kind of draws that comparison. It's a little far-stretched, but not for back in the day. So now the rest of the party is just watching in amazement, like, oh my God, I can't believe he got her to go with him. What the hell? But then they're like, oh, who cares? We still have a party to attend to. So they all have the party. And then Baptista quickly moves on to talking about the marriage between Bianca and Lucentio. It's everything happens very quickly in Shakespeare plays. But I'm going to share something with you because it might help. I don't know. Thoughts. I think it's this one. Okay, sorry guys. Okay. All right, so this is where you guys left off. Okay, was that they're going to get married, right? Are you a chair? No. Well, you're a three-legged stool. That was Act 2. Okay, now I know I have another one. Just gotta find it. Whoops, not that one. Sorry, guys. Come on, there we go. Okay, so it's the big day. This is a nice, again, simplified version. He's late. Is he gonna show up? She's afraid that she's gonna be left at the altar, and that kind of gives us a very small insight to the fact that Kate does have feelings and she does want to be loved, but it's just all about being on her terms. Okay, so the wedding's on. This is great. Okay, we move over here. Petruchio has a plan, whatever she said, or I'm sorry, why is this showing up again? There it is. Gosh, the wedding goes really quickly. Okay, Petruchio hits the priest, I did forget to mention that, and kisses her, and, then they're all of a sudden, we can't stay. Okay, next one is, by the time they get there, now, this, I believe, goes a little bit more into Act 4, I can't remember. By the time they get there, Kate is just exhausted. She's had an entire day of waiting for him, getting married. It's a big to-do. She probably had to get up early, do her hair, her makeup, and all that. So she's tired and she's really hungry. And Petruchio decides to say in an aside that he's going to tame her by killing her with kindness. So he's going to be super nice. Let's go to bed. Oh my gosh, we can't go to bed. This bed's a mess. This isn't suitable for somebody of your stature. We can't do that. Let's get rid of everything and we need new stuff. And she's like, oh, but I'm so high. That would have been fine. But he is also very sweet in the fact that he does not try to consummate the marriage immediately. He does draw that type of line within the Taming. And I think that was Shakespeare's way of saying, like, it's fine to say that we're going to tame her, but we're not going to tame her by being abusive. And that's a big thing because that was so long ago that why can't that same idea be brought to present day? So where's my next one? Okay, they talk about how Lucentia and Bianca are in love, and that's great. Okay, also what happens is Kate is still hungry. Okay, so she's hungry and she's tired at Petruchio's house because they have traveled back from the wedding. And he says, okay, I'll have my cooks make something for you. So they cook up a bunch of food. They cook up a little chicken. They cook up, some vegetables and whatever else. But it's a big feast. And when she goes to take a bite, it's right at her mouth. He rips it and goes, this is burnt. You can't have this, and throws it in the trash. This is all part of his scheme to tame her, that he's going to deprive her of these necessities, sleep and food, so that she has to rely on him. So her first night at Petruchio's is on an empty stomach and with no sleep at all. So that's where I'm going to leave off before we go into Act 4. I will post these wonderful, wonderful videos, pictures rather. But again, no open office hours today just because I have a meeting. If you do need to have one, please let me know and I will gladly open up a time slot and schedule something. Remember that your research paper topic is due on Monday. It can be anything, just not abortion or marijuana. Okay, so I think that's about it. You'll have your last short essay due on the 8th on the Taming of the Shrew, in which I will show you how to properly cite the play. I think that's about it. So I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will hopefully see you eventually. Bye, guys.